Hey there, creepy peeps. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome back. If you are returning, what is up? Today is time for another creepy book club review. Hey, look, I'm in front of a different background. I just thought I would mix it up a little bit, film in front of my bookcase or one of my bookcases for creepy book club review. Why the F not? I think I might just film all of my book videos or any clips having to do with me talking about books in front of here because it just seems apropos and it kind of mixes it up a little bit, you know? Not that I dislike my set with all my like movies and fun decorations, but it's nice to visually mix it up once in a while, right? So like I said, today is Creepy Book Club Day. Of course, gonna talk about our July book. If you don't already know, I don't know why I feel like I talk about this way too much because I feel like maybe I don't talk about it enough, but I'm gonna say it again. I have a book club. It's on Goodreads. It's called Creepy Book Club. You can search it on Goodreads and find us that way, or it's always linked in the description if you want to check it out. We do plan our books in advance so you can see what we're reading for the whole rest of the year. Plug over, so get cozy, get a cup of tea. I have my tea right here. That's the tea, sis. That was a bad joke. And let's go ahead and talk about July's Creepy Book Club pick, which is Escape by Iain Wright. Cheryl wants to get to know her coworkers. That's the only reason she agreed to go on a company outing. She and 6 of her colleagues are going to be locked inside a room with only their wits to help them. If they escape in time, there will be prize money. Fail, and the repercussions might be deadly. Cheryl will soon find out that the people she works with all share a secret, one they are willing to kill for. So this is quite a short book, really quick read. You know, if you're looking for something just fast to read, like on a vacation or something, it's 202 pages. Like, it's not too quick. And I feel like the author, Iain Wright, utilizes the time wisely, like kind of like the book equivalent of showing instead of telling, like in movies. So instead of lengthy paragraphs of description about each character, because there's 7 of them, obviously our main character is Cheryl and that's whose point of view we're reading from, but you still get to know all of the other characters, but you get to know them partially from maybe Cheryl thinking 1 or 2 things about them, but the majority of it is through their actions, how they interact with each other, and you know, it's just really good writing. It's just good character development. So like I said, instead of lengthy paragraphs about each character that kind of slow everything to a halt, or you know, keeps this book from getting into the action for a while, our author here really utilizes each scene to help you get to know the characters, which helps once they get into the escape room and then things start happening to them, because then you feel something for them. Like, you don't necessarily love every character because you're not supposed to love every character. You feel something for them. So the characters that you love, you're worried for, and the ones that are the a-holes, you still feel something for them. Like, you're kind of gunning for them a little bit. But I really like that as somebody who really, in her movies and books and TV, likes characters to relate to and follow. And then of course we have to talk about the fact that it's escape room based, and we just got, not just got, at the beginning of this year, I think it was January, right? Escape room. It's kind of like that a little bit, very Saw-esque, although instead of the traps being set to kind of like make the characters appreciate their lives, it's all vengeance based. So it's like, not only do they have to, the traps, Cheryl, who we find out at the very beginning of the book, is not actually meant to be there. She gets invited and decides to go along, and she's not actually supposed to be there. So she's kind of like the perfect protagonist because she's trying to figure out the secret that everybody else knows, because everyone else, all of her coworkers, are meant to be in the escape room because they all did something horrible before Cheryl even started working at that company. So, and then of course you have to figure out who's doing this to all of them, because clearly somebody is behind it all, right? So I thought that was set up really well and in a fun way. Like I said, it's kind of like Saw-esque. So, and the traps aren't extremely hard to figure out. So like as a reader, you can have fun trying to solve the puzzles and piece everything together yourself. The only thing I didn't like is the very, very end, which I'm gonna spoil here, but I feel like I do for every creepy book club. At the end, you find out that one of the characters, Happy, is the one that set all of this up via this organization made up of like faceless men, which I didn't really understand, but I let it slide. In that very Saw-esque way, she kind of has a new lease on her life, because at the beginning of the book, you know, she feels like she's going nowhere, and being almost killed obviously makes you look differently at your life. So at the very end of the book, you know, she's working on patching up her relationship with her mom and going back to school and doing all this, you know, doing good things for her life. It makes it very clear in the book, once she figures out what happened, she doesn't necessarily agree with what Happy is doing. He does have a reason for getting vengeance, which I'll go ahead and not spoil that. But Cheryl did have a problem with the way he went about it, like the whole like elaborate, violent escape room scenario that they were put in. She's very vocal about that she doesn't necessarily agree with what this organization is doing and helping people get vengeance. So at the very end, I'm talking last page of the book, and it's made clear in the book a couple of times that Cher's father passed, and it was supposed to be like something like accidental, like a heart attack or something. I say accidental, not like not like an accident, like a car accident. It's supposed to be like a heart attack sort of thing. Like kind of came out of nowhere, but being in the escape room also helps her come to grips with that as well. But anyway, so she goes up to her room for something, and she goes up and she finds a piece of paper that had her dad's name on it, and it's some sort of examination that took place after he died that's implying that her dad was completely healthy, so maybe her father's death is not an accident. So she looks at the note that she finds, and it says, "Justice demands the truth. Just say yes." And it says, and I quote, "Cheryl looked around her room but saw nothing else out of the ordinary. Yes," she said, and then louder, "Yes." A few minutes later, she went downstairs to join her mother to wait for justice. It would arrive soon. It just felt, that I wasn't a fan of. It just felt a little bit out of character, and it just came out of left field, because at no other point in the book did Cheryl have a thought that maybe she thought her father's death wasn't accidental. Like she maybe mentions that like it did come out of nowhere, but she never has a thought like that she thinks there was like foul play involved. Somebody as smart as Cher is made out to be in the book, she would question it. You know, like the first thing I would do is be like questioning the validity of the the proof they give her that her father was healthy. Like I'd be questioning that. So that was the only thing I didn't like. It felt like just a cheap grasp at a cliffhanger or potentially a sequel. I don't know. I feel like all it would have taken was like maybe another hint or two at the beginning or something, that maybe Cheryl thought her father's death wasn't accidental or something. But that's just the very end. I liked the whole rest of the book. Like I said, that was the very last page, so I can overlook that because I liked the rest of it. Normally I end up having to skip over this part because not everybody reads the book each month, and that's totally fine. You don't have to. I know people get busy. I do have a couple of book clubbers that also read the book and they shared their thoughts on it. So first came from Ben, who is also one of my patrons as well, Ben Grimm. Put their reviews up on the screen. You can pause if you want to read them. I'll just summarize them really quick. Ben first says, which I agree with, says, "First off, anybody that knows me, hear this. If we get trapped in a deadly escape room, trust that I will be telling all the secrets I've ever done, you've ever done, and even some out there rumors." Yeah, exactly. I do a lot of escape rooms, so if at any point I feel like we're not in a regular escape room, I'm just gonna air out all of my dirty laundry. But about the book, he writes the story is built up nicely. We know these characters before all the fun starts, it seems. The escape room puzzles weren't all that complicated. It was more getting people to admit something or other instead of finding puzzle pieces, but the end was satisfying. I agree, especially about the characters. Like, you really get to know the characters fairly well in a short amount of time before the action kicks off, and it doesn't take that long to get into the action. But and then Azul, also another one of my patrons, wrote, had a good time reading this one, never a dull moment, and some of the situations are over the top. Talking about being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Yes, Cher is definitely in the wrong place at the wrong time in this book. He wrote, it's well paced, the stories, the characters, the events. For a short story like it is very well fleshed out. If you are looking for a quick read, about under 4 hours to finish the story, but yet satisfying, if you like the Saw franchise, then this book is for you. I completely agree. If you're looking for something quick, like, you know, if you're taking like a quick little trip somewhere and you need something to maybe read at the airport and on the plane and stuff like that, depending on how long your flight is, you could probably finish half of it on the way there and half of it on the way back, just something to occupy your time. And Azul also put at the bottom, never read an Iain Rob Wright story before, neither have I, but I quite enjoyed it, and it makes me want to check out some more of his stuff as well too. And he wrote my rating between a 3.5 and 4 out of 5. I gave it a 4 out of 5. For like, it's really, like, especially for somebody who really likes character development, it's really well done, especially for a shorter book. So I really like that. On Goodreads as a whole, it has a 4.31 out of 5. On Amazon, it has a 4.7 out of 5, and there's nothing on Barnes & Noble. I guess they just don't sell his books. If you've read Escape before, perchance, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it, or if you've read anything else by Iain Rob Wright, let me know what your favorites are, and I'm sure like Azul would like to know as well. For those of us that have never read his stuff before, maybe let us know what we should check out next. You may have already seen my Instagram post about it, but I thought I would just go ahead and share with you our August book, the one we're currently reading, which is Broken Monsters by Lauren Bukes. Probably saying that wrong. I promise by the time I review this, I will know how to say her last name. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here. Become a Creepy Peep today. I post videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and you can ring that notification bell down there to be notified every time I post a video, even though it doesn't always work. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay strange. Bye.
This video is brought to you by all these lovely creepy patron peeps that you see listed on the left-hand side of the screen. If you want to find out the perks to being a creepy patron peep, you can follow that link that is in the description of this video. No pressure, but it's there if you want to check it out. Thanks for watching. Bye!